Hello and welcome to Scots United, where I, Scott, and my team of Scots, who are also me, bring you the latest in movies, television, and pop culture. Now, this is a movie-dedicated episode where we are about to bring you our top 10 movies of 2018. Yes, we've talked about it enough. Here we are. It's time. But before we get to our list, let's discuss those essential qualities that make a great movie the very best. Simplicity. Complexity too.
Movies that captured something beautifully original.
And something innately ugly about humanity, perhaps?
Huh? And humor too.
Well, some movies weren't very original. Green Book tells a very sweet story, and I'm sure it's well-meaning, and it's definitely well acted, but
You know exactly where it's going from the start.
Yes. Also probably the same with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Not that we've seen it.
Allegedly, but yes, that.
Vice, for me, just didn't quite come together perfectly.
But it was so audacious, and the performances!
Agreed on both counts, but I felt like it should have been either more experimental or more linear. Somehow, it was in the middle.
I had the same problem with If Beale Street Could Talk.
it was so beautiful, though, and that music. And it made you think.
I think in the end there were too many shots of young love. The movie kind of ran long, and I wanted more of the injustice side, I think. It just, by the end, seemed like I didn't know what movie it was.
From now until the end of time.
So what did make our top 10 list for this year? A tie! Black Panther and A Star is Born. Two movies that you knew where they were going.
And you didn't mind because they did it so well.
I love a superhero movie with some emotional depth.
And the visceral experience of watching A Star is Born.
They both elevated their source material and made something magical.
Hereditary.
Any movie this disturbingly original deserves to be on your watch list. So, get to it.
A Quiet Place.
Yeah, if you didn't get your fill of tension from Hereditary.
Oh my god, that bathtub scene.
But such a daring movie all around.
Beautiful and terrifying.
And heartfelt. It's so difficult to weave so much into such a quiet film. And John Krasinski looked really hot in those chunky knits.
Leave No Trace.
Probably our least talked about choice.
A father and daughter living off the grid in a national park, and they're forced to re-enter society.
Talk about the beauty of simplicity.
And the complexity of communication through very few words.
A little gem of a movie. Currently available on Amazon Prime. You should check it out.
Mission Impossible. Fallout.
Somehow these movies keep getting better.
And they were great as of the fourth one, and this is the sixth.
No one can argue that Tom Cruise works so hard at delivering quality.
And in his mid-50s, he's fantastic. The ensemble is fantastic. The action and pacing and stunts of this movie are fantastic. It just can't be beat.
And it tied this movie back into the whole series, and it brought a real emotional resonance in how it did that. I mean, this movie has everything.
Roma.
Another beautiful movie that doesn't use a lot of words.
Wait, Margot speaks Spanish? Well, she is a Chihuahua.
Right, so all Chihuahuas have to be Mexican.
Even on the small screen, I found Roma to be grand and yet also intimate. It tells a simple story amidst a time of chaos and turmoil. And it does so beautifully. And if you are a Cuarón fan, like I am, there are lots of subtle references to his body of work.
Black Klansman.
This is the one.
The one we were waiting to see before we put together this list.
This is truly a masterpiece from Spike Lee.
This is a movie with an obvious, blaring message, but yet it also was paired and intermixed with a suspense story and a kind of a crime thriller. Plus, you had some humor mixed in there as well, and a super, super strong ensemble where, although everyone is good, honestly, Adam Driver really steals the show.
Let this be your politically minded movie of this awards season.
I'm being told we're still deliberating the top 3. What's going on?
There are 3 incredible films led by strong women.
But since we need to decide, number 3 is going to be
Can You Ever Forgive Me? Feels like a classic New York movie from another time. Melissa McCarthy is so incredible in this.
The performances and the film really stay with you long after. Marielle Heller directed the hell out of this. She's really one to watch.
It's wonderful to see a complex, difficult female protagonist that you don't exactly like, but you feel compelled to watch.
Well, there's 3 of them in The Favorite.
Olivia Colman is somehow ridiculously silly and just heartbreakingly sad at the same time.
Such a clever, funny, sad, dark script. Beautifully realized.
Rachel Weisz is calculating and cold, yet still warm, but always calculating. And Emma Stone is just a force of nature.
This movie is so full of unexpected choices. Yorgos Lanthimos is some kind of mad genius.
Speaking of unexpected, everything about 8th grade is unexpected.
8th grade.
This movie was a cringe-inducing anxiety nightmare for me. And I mean that in a good way.
I had horrific middle school flashbacks. And yet on a second viewing, I just loved it so much more. It is so completely unique and rare to be so surprised by a movie that feels so genuinely true to life. And that is why 8th grade is our number 1 pick for the year. So that's it, our top 10 for 2018. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to comment. We'd love your input and your thoughts. But it's our show, so we're going to do it as we like it. So that's it. We'll be back again next week with our regular programming as we are building closer and closer ever to Oscar Day. Join us then. We'll see you soon.